welcome to another episode of Story and Things. We are a bookish podcast. I'm your host, Yahaira.
And I'm your host, Chelly, and welcome to spooky season.
We're here.
Pumpkin spice lattes are the only thing people drink anymore. Water's gone.
We are in a drought. We're in California. Anyway.
There's a different reason why.
I don't want to talk about
it. I am so excited for spooky season.
Me too. Why don't we talk about our favorite scary movies? You go first.
My favorite scary movie. Well, I really like scary movies that have plot. I'm not big.
What are you trying to say? Slashers. You don't like slashers.
I'm not a fan of slashers unless there's a plot. So like there was a movie that Daniel Radcliffe was in.
The Woman in Black.
Oh, I love that movie. Mm-hmm. Love it so much.
It's a good one.
You know that I love the It movies.
Mm-hmm. Which one do you prefer? Controversial, maybe?
I like them. Wait, are you saying like the old one or the new one? Mm-hmm. I prefer the new one.
It's me too. Yeah. I never liked the older version. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that clown gave me nightmares, so I guess did what he intended to.
No, I thought he was too much of a clown.
Really? He gave me nightmares. Really? He was so scary to me. Pennywise now is hot. So like
so I'm weirdly attracted to him.
It was funny because when you came over this weekend, you're like, I got you a gift, and it's just like a little Pennywise.
I know.
I don't know where to put him.
In your heart.
I mean, he's always in there. In my heart and my mind.
The reason why I gave you that, though, let's talk about it. Chelly and we went to a horror made here with my family. Mm-hmm. My brother was there. My little brother. And there was an It maze, and you wanted to give him a hug, but he was making fun of you.
He made fun of me.
He was like, oh, you want a hug? You want a hug?
Yeah, very Pennywise of him. So, like, very attractive.
You were even more attracted to him.
Yeah, because I love him. But,
So my brother is obsessed with Halloween too. So anytime
him.
we go to Spirit Halloween, he gravitates towards the Pennywise section. He's like, you have to get this for Chelly.
That's so nice of him.
Every year, ever since that happened, because I think that was 2019, probably 2018.
2018, yeah.
Ever since that, he's like, you have to get this for her. It's Pennywise.
That's so funny. I love your brother so much.
Yeah, he thinks about you.
Oh.
Cute.
Oh, I love him. Okay.
But my favorite scary movie. Wait, The Woman in Black is your favorite?
Probably that or It. It goes in between. I like both of those a lot, though.
I really like Sinister.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's weird because I preferred the second one over the first one, which I think is an unpopular opinion. I don't know why. I liked us seeing what was happening with the children. Yeah. I liked us being more involved with that than the first one where we didn't know what the hell was happening.
Yeah.
And I also really like the God, I don't even know the title of it, but I saw it with our mutual friend Andrea at the theaters. It was the Ouija board one, but the second one.
That one was really good. I know exactly, because that's the one that ends with them doing it on a paper one, right? That one fucks me up.
I don't know, actually.
I love the Ouija board movies.
Yeah, I haven't seen the first one, and honestly, there might be a lot of them, but I guess it's a more newer one.
Yeah.
So that one really liked a lot.
Can I mention, first of all, very good movies. I forgot about Sinister. Every time I think of Sinister, I think of you, actually.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I love that movie.
That's the first time I ever watched it was with you. Mm-hmm. I forgot to mention how much I love Babadook.
Dude, don't even bring up Babadook right now.
Dude, I love it so much. And if I think about it too much, I will get scared. That's such a good movie.
Yeah, Chelly really loves those types of movies.
Yeah.
We're just like unsettling moments.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God. Thank you. Someone who understands. I also really like, I'm sorry. We went down this rabbit hole and now it's like,
I can't stop. I can't stop.
Because I don't remember the name of this movie. So it basically is two kids that go to visit grandparents.
Yes. Yeah. I know which one you're talking about.
That one fucks me up.
It's not actually their grandparents. Sorry, spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's like...
But it's like weird because they don't find out until the mom FaceTimes them or something.
Yeah, because the FaceTime had been scratched out, but they figured out how to like fix it. And then they were like, those aren't your grandparents.
I need you to run right now. But yeah, that one was a good one. That one was a really good one.
That one and Shut In. Shut In. That one was also really good.
I don't remember that one.
That one was the one where a lady's taking care of a kid who is supposedly in a coma. And she thinks that there's something supernatural happening, but it just turns out that he's a creep and he's like messing with her.
You know, you just reminded me of one. That does sound really interesting.
Yes.
That sounds really interesting. There is this one scary movie that I cannot remember the name of it, but it fucked me up. It was basically a like a ghost-ish kind of story, but it's not a ghost-ish, which is why it's really heartbreaking. Okay. So it's about a mom. Why do I feel like an orphanage has to do with it? I don't know.
Go ahead.
I'm going to explain what I remember, okay? It's going to be very choppy.
Okay.
What I remember from this story was that the woman saw like ghosts, or she could hear ghosts, and everyone would tell her, you're being delusional. There's no ghosts in this house. And she had a little boy. And I'm going to give you a spoiler. Sorry. Okay, the boy goes missing, but she would like hear other little kids in the house, because I think it was originally an orphanage. I think that's where I'm getting the orphans from. Yeah. I think it was originally an orphanage, but it's a house now. She lives in it, and the kid goes missing, quote unquote, but she would always hear knocks underneath her room. And time goes on, and I think months pass. She keeps seeing these ghosts. She finally opens this room where her kid would hide in. He got locked in there, and he died because nobody got him out. And so she thought that she was hearing ghosts, but she was actually hearing him knocking. It was really sad, actually. That movie fucked me up, because at the end, she's holding him and crying, and she has the delusion where she sees him wake up and she sees all of the orphans around her. Yeah. But it's not real. It's
all in her head.
Yeah. That was a good one.
That sounds really good. We need to find it.
I think it's in Spanish too.
Okay. One more. I'm so sorry. But shout out to freaking The Boy. Only the first one.
I never saw that one. Is it good?
It is really good, because it's like that, where there is no supernatural thing.
They're just delusional.
They're just delusional. But the second one fucked it up because it made it a supernatural thing.
Oh, really?
And I was like, oh, God. The first one was so good. They didn't have to make a second one.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate when that happens, because then it just kind of like ruins the story.
It was funny because I watched the second one with Marcos.
Oh, you did?
I remember telling him... Yeah, my brother. I watched it with him, and I remember telling him, oh, you know what? This movie's good because, there is no supernatural stuff. It's all in the head. And then, like...
You told him that?
And then, like, first thing that happens is a supernatural thing. And he's like, whoa. If that's in their head, that's crazy.
I think I'm feeling it, too. Wait, okay. Can I say one more?
Dude, yes.
This
is the whole episode.
Sorry. We're in it now. Okay. The Uninvited. Did you ever watch that movie?
You need to tell me it.
The Uninvited has to do with this girl who was in a mental asylum. I forgot why she was in there in the beginning of the story, but her family was like, it's okay. She's fine. She's fine now. Everything's chill. So she gets out of the mental asylum because it's her time. Her therapist is like, she's fine. Nothing wrong with her. She goes back to her family home, and it's like tensions are high because the dad has this new girlfriend, and she thinks that the girlfriend is sus. Okay. She's just like, the girlfriend used to be a nurse, and she killed this one person. I forgot why she makes this connection. It doesn't matter. And then she has a sister there, and her sister's like, yeah, she's so weird. Okay. And is this ringing any bells? No bells. It was very creepy because their mother died in a very tragic way, where I think it was murder. I can't remember the details. I'm sorry. I watched this when I was like, I don't know, teenager maybe. Yeah. And so at the end of the story, the girl is like running away from the girlfriend because she's convinced that the girlfriend is going to kill her, because she thinks that the girlfriend is a murderer. She thinks that she killed her last patient, because I think she used to be a nurse. Yeah. And so the main character has a knife like in her room, because she's like, okay, I'm going to defend myself. Okay. She wakes up because she's drugged up, I think. She wakes up, girlfriend dead. Super dead. And the dad's like, what did you do? Why did you do that? And the main character's like, I didn't do that. It was actually my sister. I'm so sorry. She just tried to defend me. She was saving me from this crazy girl. And the dad was like, your sister's dead. And it was like a whole thing of like, the main character looks at herself in the mirror and she's covered in blood. And she didn't even realize that she did it. It was... That movie, I think originally was Japanese. And I saw the original version too. But obviously it doesn't hit because you know the twist.
Yep.
I'm also Between Sisters. Both versions were good. The Uninvited, though, fucked me up.
That sounds really good.
It was really good. Anyway.
No more. I can go on forever. Oh my God. We have to have like a segment. Oh my God.
Happy spooky season, everyone. Please tell us your favorite scary movies. Okay, so today we are going to talk about The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This is our first book from this author. I think this author is praised to be very much like Agatha Christie, which if you've never read her books, she did, and then There Were None.
Yes.
And Death on the Nile? Death on the Nile,
yes.
Which was just made into a movie recently. I haven't seen it yet, but I do like Agatha Christie.
Yeah, you do.
And so why don't we start this episode like we normally do? Why don't you give a spoiler-free summary, and then we're going to get into the spoiler parts.
Okay.
But warning, these types of books always have twists. So if you don't want another twist, don't watch this episode.
Yeah.
Until you read it.
And because there's so much to this story, this is going to be a really short summary. So just know that our two characters, Jules and Will, are going to get married, and they decide they want to get married
on an island.
On an Irish island. And which is a weird place because it's very lonely. But you know what?
And also hauntings are happening apparently.
Yeah, but you know what? It's fine because they got a cool discount on it because
like 50% off.
Yeah, 50% off because, you know, because Will is famous, this is going to make the island look good. Well, everything kind of goes to shit because there is a murder
on the island.
Thank you.
On the wedding. How dare you? On the wedding night. Oh my God. Yeah. If you like murder mysteries, I would definitely recommend this story.
Yes.
Now let's get to the part. My favorite part of every episode.
Oh, okay.
The guessing. Okay. Chelly and I, we don't tell each other how we feel about the books or stories that we talk about.
We didn't at all.
No.
I tried really hard not to say anything to you.
Thank you.
About the books because I felt like I'd give it away. So I didn't talk about this at all with you, but you were there when I listened to it.
I think you almost cracked though. You almost did.
Did I?
You did.
Okay. Wait, when? Okay, go ahead. You go ahead and guess first how I feel about this.
Okay, so the guest list. I think overall you enjoyed the story. I don't know if you loved the story because keep in mind, all we ever talk about is romance. So I think that this is a good month, a little bit of a break from romance. I think you overall enjoyed the story. I don't know if you loved the twist at the end. I mean, it's a twist. I don't know if you loved it. I think you would give it a 3.5.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Okay. It's a little hard because like I said, when I think about us and the podcast, we mostly read romance more because, you know, that's kind of what's popular on Book Talk.
And I love romance.
Yeah,
so.
Of course. But I knew that you liked Agatha Christie. You loved her.
I do love her.
And I just feel like this is probably a book that you might hold near and dear only out of like nostalgia.
Okay.
I think you enjoyed it, but I don't think you liked some of the characters. So I'm kind of like middle ground with this. I think you would either give it a 3.5 or a 4.5. Like it has to fall.
You have to pick one.
3.5 or 4. Like okay. I think you're gonna fall in between like or damn, this is really good.
Really?
But you don't like all the characters. I already know which characters you don't like.
I don't think they're meant to be liked though.
Yeah, but I think like certain characters grew in the story.
Okay. So 3.5.
3.5. 6.3. 3.563. That's my guess.
Very specific. Okay. So.
Okay, wait. I just read something. I like how the only.
Whoa.
Okay, wait.
That is scary.
We just filmed an an episode on The Silent Patient.
Yeah, please go listen to it.
The author of The Silent Patient wrote a review, and it's quite riveting, actually. Just wrote, I loved this book.
What a good review. What more do you need?
That's so funny. I'm sorry, that like caught me off guard.
It is kind of weird that we just talked about this story.
So let's talk about our bride, Jules. She is getting married on this island, and she's so like fixated on making sure that her wedding night is the perfect night. And she kind of comes off as a little blunt and in some ways rude because she's going up to everyone like, why haven't you put this on? Oh my God, that looks horrible. Why didn't you tell me that this didn't work?
Yeah.
And she just has so much going on, just so much stress. It kind of feels like her wedding is more so
a show,
and it has to look perfect, mostly because her husband is famous.
And kind of perfect.
Yeah, so it needs to be perfect. And her whole thing is that she gets this note one day, randomly.
Before the wedding.
That says that don't marry Will. He's a liar and a cheat. Thanks.
And the thing about Jules' character is that she is so fixated on the end goal. Like, she knows what she wants. She's going to get it no matter what. When she got that note, she was like, well, you know what? They're wrong. They don't know him like I do. So it's also like she does it out of spite.
Yeah.
But that's just the kind of character that she is. And she does mention that her image is perfect also because of Will. Like they look like a perfect couple.
And they never say, thank you for saying it like that. Because when she thinks about them, she never says,
I love him. They
never say, we work together, or like we're so good together. It's we look really good together.
Yeah, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but they both are like that. Like we look good together.
A lot of characters are like that actually in this book.
That's true.
But that is pretty much her whole character. It does get a little more intense near the end because she does have now a motivation to believe that Will's a cheat near the end.
Yeah, and remember, she's a very strong-willed character.
Yes, so because of that motivation she has at the end, and remembering that she's strong-willed and she will do whatever she wants to get what she wants, it's kind of like, okay.
You know what else about her character is that she sees herself almost like the queen.
Yes.
Because she even mentions like, oh, everyone's like cheering me on. They view me as a queen. They follow me around like minions. Like that's how she sees herself too.
And it's so funny because she sees herself like that. And there are situations where she tries to like get the crowd's attention. Like, oh yeah, wasn't that funny, guys?
And no one reacts. Which is weird.
Yeah.
Because it's like, are you the queen or not?
She only considers herself that because of her relationship with Will.
That's true. Because at the beginning, everyone loves Will, okay? He's perfect.
Yes. Just to let you know. But yeah, that's Jules. How did you feel about her?
How did I feel about Jules? I'm sorry. How was I supposed to feel about her? I don't know. I feel conflicted about her.
Yes.
Because what I liked about her character was that she was very much like this, like motivated. I like that about her character. Yeah. I like that you can tell she's a strong female character.
Yes.
She was a little bitchy, but it is her wedding, so.
Yeah. And I felt bad for her because her compared to her sister got a lot less love. So there are reasons why she is the way she is. And I don't think she's a bad person in general. I just think that she lets things get to her head too often.
Yeah, and I agree.
I didn't mind Jules. I actually really liked her when she was introduced. So yeah, didn't mind the bitchiness. I was like, oh, this girl's stressed. This girl trying to get married right. I don't blame her.
Yeah, and this is an island, so it has to be perfect. And isn't it weird? Okay, side note. Isn't it weird when couples have like a wedding retreat? It's like everyone has to clear their schedules for you.
Dude, yeah. My friend is getting married in France.
Nice.
And
Fun.
it's in 2 years. So they like set out the invitations now.
So that you can make sure that you can go.
Yes.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
That's crazy. So why don't we move on to...
The plus one. I'm going in order. Should I go in?
Can I just briefly mention the groom? I know he's not...
Yes.
not in there, but...
Go ahead.
I want to talk about Will.
The groom.
So the thing about Will is he is seemingly perfect.
Yes.
He is famous. He seems to love Jules.
A lot.
And he is very charismatic. He has a lot of friends. Mm-hmm. And they all like worship him.
Yes.
All of them worship him because he is, like I said, famous. He is famous because he was on a show that was very successful. It was called Survive the Night. And basically they would like take him off to like an island or something. And he would literally have to survive the night. That was basically the show. Similar to Jules, he mentions that they work really well together because they are very similar in the sense that they are very much work oriented. They are both achievers.
Yes.
They both have like their eyes set on a prize and they will do whatever it takes to get it.
Yeah.
The thing about Will, and I don't want to give any spoilers yet, but it seems like everyone loves him at the beginning, but the further we get into the story, we start to realize, wait, hold on.
He's not really that great.
Yeah. So it's a little confusing because the guests do love him. But like once we get into like characters, because the story is broken up between how many characters? 5 characters. We get deeper into his actual character.
I think a good next character that we should talk about is the best man, which is Jono. So Jono is his best bud from high school.
Yeah, they're besties.
They went to school together, and Jono really, really loved Will.
He still loves him.
He still loves him, but you can tell that Will sees himself as higher.
You know, and immediately when Jono is introduced, you can tell that Will is a little bit cold towards him. Like, yes. Jono can see that, oh, I feel this distance between us. But you know what? He's still my best friend. I love that man.
I love him. I don't care if he treats me like shit if he still gives me a kiss goodnight.
If he still tucks me in bed. I mean, don't make it weird or anything.
Yeah. But he is definitely seen as inferior, which really sucks because I actually really like Jono. Mm-hmm. I think that out of all the characters, he had the most sense out of everyone.
Okay.
Kinda.
Okay. I mean,
yeah.
We'll get into it, but yeah. Another thing that I want to mention about Jono is that Will is so obviously successful, right? He's famous. Jono, his life, okay, I'm moving a little bit quickly, but he's not successful.
Yeah.
But he is trying to make it seem like he is because he's like, I have this whiskey company that I'm building up. I'm getting there. Don't worry about it.
It hurts. Mm-hmm. It hurts to see him talk like that because it's like, we all know.
Yeah.
We all know.
Because everyone there is pretty much like successful.
Yes. Can I mention, because there is another character, but I want to mention someone else first. Will also has another friend. Will and Jono have another friend named Charlie. Mm-hmm. And Charlie actually is like, he acts like one of the guys.
But he's not.
He's not.
He's very much picked on too.
Yeah, and he's just kind of there.
He's an outsider for sure. Also, the thing about Charlie is he is Jules' best friend.
Yeah, Jules' best friend, which is mentioned a lot because it's always like, wow, you guys flirt a lot. What happened between you two? And it's like nothing.
Did you guys sleep together?
No, we're just friends. That's gross. Ew, I don't even see her that way.
Maybe we did. I don't know. Don't look at me like that.
I didn't not sleep with her. I was like, what? But the reason I want to bring up Charlie is because one of the perspectives is written in his wife's point of view, which is the plus one, Hannah. Mm-hmm. And I felt so bad for her.
Hannah, as soon as she was getting to the island, it was bad for her because she experiences motion sickness. So on the little boat ride to the island, she was not good.
No, she was not good. And then she goes to like hang out with the friends of Charlie. Mm-hmm. And she's looking good. She's looking really, really good. But no one gives her the time of day.
No.
The only one that kind of does is Will. Mm-hmm. But, like, other than that, they, like, force her to drink, like, drugged up champagne.
And she doesn't want to. And
it sucks too because after she drinks it, she mentions they're all laughing, not with me, but at me. And then in a way of like, they're laughing because they knew that they did something fucked up.
Because they find it amusing.
Yeah.
Also, Hannah is kind of attracted to Will.
Yeah.
As soon as she sees him, she thinks to herself, wow, he's really handsome.
Yeah, and he hugged me for a little way too long.
I think he likes me.
I don't know. I don't want to make it weird between
Will,
Jules.
remember, he's the groom, so very inappropriate.
Very inappropriate.
And Hannah, I feel for her too, because obviously Charlie, her husband, is acting weird with the guys, right? He wants to be one of the boys. When he drinks too much, she tries to cut him off, but Charlie gets like mean.
Yeah.
And I feel for her.
I feel for her.
Also, wait. Gotta mention, she's witnessing her husband and Jules flirting.
Yeah, and literally the husband's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I would never do that.
Jules, disgusting. I don't even like her.
I hate it so much. The next person I want to talk about is the bridesmaid.
Which is Olivia. Which is Jules' sister.
Who's just so sad.
Yeah, and we kind of mentioned it, but Olivia is very different from Jules. I think Olivia is like the baby.
Yeah.
So she was definitely babied by the mother, which is why there's this like tension between the sisters because Jules was not babied at all.
Yes.
And Olivia is kind of acting out, but nobody knows why. Nobody knows why she's so sad all of the time. And Jules takes it personal. She's like, you're just ruining my wedding. Can you at least pretend to be happy for me? Pretend.
Yeah, and she's literally like, Olivia's literally not eating, and Jules is like, really, your dress doesn't fit? And I'm like, let her live.
It's like she thinks that she's doing this to hurt her.
In spite of Jules, but it's not.
Yeah, she's depressed.
Yes, and it's kind of bittersweet. But Olivia does form a connection with Hannah because they see each other and then they like realize, hey, I got a lot of baggage in here. I can tell you all about it because you're a stranger. And they have this like just a little relationship, and I think it's really cute.
No, yeah, I agree. I thought it was really sweet. I mean, it's sad because Olivia has a sister, and I mean, we both have sisters. So I feel like if my sister were to confide in a stranger before me, I'd be so sad.
Yeah, but I mean, Jules sucks, so.
Whoa, sucks.
There we go.
Yeah, so she confided in Hannah. I don't know how much you want to get into that, but yeah.
The last person that we can talk about is the wedding planner.
Aoife.
I didn't know that's how you pronounced it.
Well, I listened to the audiobook. So Aoife pretty much owns this place with her husband, Freddie. And she basically planned the whole event. And remember, she loves Will. She's like a fan.
Yep, big fan.
And she's a big fan of Will. And she's just like, I gave them this huge 50% off discount. Everything has to be perfect. And, you know, once people see the island, more people will come. And so it's really interesting because so much shit is happening.
Yeah.
The days coming into the wedding day. And she's just like, it's fine. Yeah, they're gossiping over there, but it's fine. I'm a professional. I know how to keep a straight face. She's just like handling everything.
Do want to mention, just to add to how disgusting Will is, he even like tries something with her. And I hate that.
I'm sorry. He's
Will. He's
just
eccentric man.
He's just very charismatic.
Okay. Yeah, he's disgusting. But yeah. She's just out here doing her job. But that's all the characters.
Where should we even start?
There's a lot of characters, and because this is a murder mystery, each of them actually has like a pretty good reason to want to kill someone else. So it's just now narrowing down who
did it.
Yeah, who
but
done it.
Okay, even though this is a murder mystery, we don't know who the victim is until literally near the end.
Yep, because at the beginning it's just like a scream. But yeah, why don't we talk about Olivia first?
Okay, so Olivia. A trigger warning, she is so depressed that she is harming herself.
Yes.
So we as the readers know that it's something really serious that's going on with her, even though she's not revealing it yet. So when Olivia confides in Hannah, she tells her that she had a boyfriend who was older than her, who treated her like kind of like an object.
Yeah.
Because it went into they went into the relationship with strictly, this isn't anything serious. But obviously stuff happens.
Yes.
And she started acting clingy, and he was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not down. I'm not interested. And so he kind of cut her off.
Yes.
And she finds out that she was pregnant. Can I just say that?
Yeah.
Okay, we're just going to
go ahead.
there, okay? She doesn't tell Hannah this, but we later find out she became pregnant from this man and had to basically deal with it, like had to deal with this baby. But she ends up getting an abortion. And so when she's confiding with Hannah, let's tie in Hannah's story a little bit.
Yeah.
Hannah tells her that she actually had a sister named Alice who
went through a similar situation with depression because Alice's boyfriend was angry at her, so filmed her having sex with him and then used it as revenge and posted it online where everyone could see.
And everyone did see.
And Olivia, she was just kind of like, oh, okay, thanks for telling me that. But
she didn't understand.
Hannah doesn't mention that the reason she brought that up was because she was going down the similar route that Alice was going through, which was to commit suicide.
Mm-hmm. Which is what happened to Alice, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Then Olivia, she falls off the cliff? Or no, she's walking. Okay, Olivia's not in the right state of mind. She ends up walking to the beach, and I think she went too deep to the point where she's like almost drowning. Mm-hmm. And then Jules sees her, and she's like, tries to sprint towards her, but she
only knows how to run in slow motion, apparently.
Well, her dress is big, okay?
I know.
And so Will acts, faster, I guess. And so he sprints to Olivia, gets her out, and Jules sees that Olivia's like clawing at him, and she's like, oh my God, she's having a meltdown. Something is going on with Olivia.
Yeah.
And Jules, oh my God, fucking Jules. She looks at Olivia and she's like, you would do this on my wedding day.
You bitch, because she saw that she scratched Will and is like more upset about ruining his appearance for the wedding than anything else.
And she thinks that she's just doing this out of spite, just to ruin the wedding.
But it does hit her at this moment, right? That Olivia was trying to tell her something.
Yeah, because she grabs her and she tries to say something, but she doesn't.
Yep, she didn't have any words. And just to fast forward, Olivia and Will actually had known each other before Will and Jules were a thing. Mm-hmm. And it was very disgusting because it was basically Will flirting with Olivia while Olivia was underage.
I think so. Or maybe she was 18.
But it was disgusting. Because he has a moment where he says, only if you were 10 years older.
Yeah. And also, the thing is that Will loves that Jules is so independent. And unfortunately, Olivia isn't. She's very clingy.
Yeah.
And he didn't like that about her.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was revealed that it was Will who had that relationship with her that she ended up pregnant with. But he never knew about the baby.
No, he never did. But Olivia's motive to kill someone is mostly because Will does not want this to go public that they had a relationship together. So she's really, really angry. She's not angry, but she's very mentally unstable.
Guilty too. It's guilt. Like it's eating at her that Jules doesn't know.
Yes. So that is where she's at in the story. Why don't we talk about Jules next? Because it kind of ties in with each other. Remember, she is a perfectionist, and she does get that note about him being a cheat and a snake.
And a liar.
But that note was from Olivia. Olivia had sent her that note because she wanted to tell her sister, but she was afraid to tell her. So there's actually a moment where when Jules is looking for Olivia, she sees Olivia and Will standing really, really close to each other. And she's like,
but they're also arguing.
Yeah.
And she gets really close to them and she's like, okay, I need to know what's happening. Also, she was looking for Will because they were going to cut the cake.
Yeah.
Rude. I can't cut the cake by myself.
That would look weird.
I know. And so Will and Olivia are arguing because she's telling him, I'm going to tell her. She has to know the truth. And he's just like, no. You're going to ruin the wedding. And for what? For something that didn't mean anything?
Yeah.
But Jules hears this and she's pissed.
Yeah, she is. And she hates Will at this moment.
She grabs Will. They go. I remember everything's a show. So she's like puts on a smile. He's obviously smiling. And they cut the cake. And it was commented that the knife, the blade, wasn't even meant for a cake. It was a blade that was sharpened by her request.
Yeah.
It could cut through anything.
It could cut through flesh, is how they said it. So.
And she's angry.
Yeah, she's angry.
She's so angry that she literally nearly punches him with the fucking cake.
Oh my God. Yeah, she does. And it's kind of funny because the rest of the crowd is like, oh.
But then we're just. And he's like, better wash this off.
Yeah, he tried to
play it off.
That's how they are. That's how both of them are. She has so much rage because do you remember that moment where she told her dad and the wedding planner to step out and she just got a vase and just destroyed it in her room?
Yeah, well, she mentioned it since the very beginning that she's really good at hiding her anger. She has so much pent up rage that Will has never experienced because she's good at hiding it.
Yep, that's crazy.
Yeah, but you know what? This story starts with the lights going off. I know you mentioned that. Yeah. But he leaves. Will leaves to clean himself up. And where is she at when the lights go out again? I think she's going after him.
Yeah. So she's not there.
Yeah. So next character. Who should we talk about next?
I think we should talk about the plus one.
Hannah. So what is Hannah's motivation to kill someone?
So remember, like we said, Charlie is really the one that has the connection with Will. And he's lame. They make fun of him. And it sucks because I really wanted... I really, and I knew it wasn't going to happen. I really wanted this to just be Charlie and Hannah rekindling their love.
Because that was the point. They wanted to, because at this rate, they had a kid already. I think the kid was
They had 2 now.
Oh yeah, they had 2 kids. And she admits that, yeah, we've grown distant, but this is a good time for us to rekindle the relationship. But the thing is that when Charlie gets drunk, he gets really mean.
Yeah, he does.
And also he's flirting with Jules, and it comes out. I think she asks him, right? Did you sleep with her?
Yeah, and he says yes, and he reveals that it was during a time where they were not intimate. And he was like, but what am I supposed to do, babe?
Not have sex? Am I crazy?
And it turns out the reason they weren't having sex was because she was healing from giving birth, but also from
postpartum depression.
Yeah, and it's what the fuck is wrong with you?
Why? I don't think it was right after though, wasn't it? I think it was the postpartum depression.
No, she had a surgery though, so she was healing from a surgery too.
Oh, okay.
So there was 2 things that were the
stopping them from having sex, but still. Apparently he had sex with Jules during this time, and he was like, babe, it didn't mean anything. I don't even like her like that.
So
I didn't even enjoy it.
Yeah, I didn't even I
didn't even finish, okay? Yeah. Does it count?
Does it count if I didn't? Come on, please tell me, because I'm not sure. But
and Hannah is obviously pissed.
So you know what? Girl boss in it. She leaves and she's looking really good. And people start flirting with her. Specifically these guys who
went to school with Will. They start talking about Will because she says, how did you meet Will? And they were like, oh, we went to school with him. He's crazy. And they were like, we're so surprised that he's getting married, because the last time he was in love, it was with this really young girl. Was she young? Don't remember. It doesn't matter. It was with this really young girl. But damn, what happened to her? Last thing I heard was about this revenge porn. Crazy, right? And then Hannah's like, wait, what school? Which school again? And they mentioned the school, and she's like, oh my God, that's Alice. And she's pissed.
And so the night of the wedding, when they are cutting the wedding cake, she's literally looking at the knife and she's like, I'm so close to it. I can literally just grab it. I can just grab it.
And she also says, I promised myself that I would find the person and get revenge.
So then the lights go out and that's her. Why don't we talk about Jono?
Okay, so Jono, remember, is Will's best friend, but there is a little bit of a tension between them. And Jono reveals that he was actually the one who came up with the idea of Survive the Night, which is the super popular show that Will's on.
And he brought it up to Piers, who is the director of the show.
Not yet, though. He's telling us.
Okay.
He's talking to us.
Okay. Thank you, Jono.
I think he's reminiscing.
Okay.
About this because his life went to shit and he's kind of just like defeated. He's like, damn, it sucks that he's so famous and I could have been famous too, but actually I came up with the idea of Survive the Night. Where's my thank you?
Yeah.
And then he brings up to the reader that he was supposed to audition with Will.
They were supposed to be together.
But the director, Pierce, or producer, Pierce, told him, no, you're just not fit for television.
Yep. But when he met the director
at like the same night, the wedding night,
the director brought up like, oh, you two would have had so much chemistry on TV.
Yeah, because you're funny, he's handsome, it's the perfect combo.
And Jono was like, not to be rude, but like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Why the fuck would you say that? I know you said I'm not fit for television.
And I was like, no, Will told us that you didn't want to.
Yeah, you didn't go to the meeting, the super important meeting where we were going to tell you that you were going to be famous.
Yep. So.
And Jono's kind of just like, what?
Jono gets so mad that him and the boys want to prank Will.
Because they're pranksters.
They want to prank Will and basically they take him to a cave and they tie him up and then it's like, survive the night.
I get it.
Yeah. And they all leave and it's Jono and is there someone else there too?
Just Jono and Will.
Jono's basically like, I know what you did.
Yeah.
I know what you did.
I know exactly what you did. You lying, cheating snake. It's like, it's the letter.
He wrote the letter too. The letter was actually written by everyone who attended the wedding.
Jules just didn't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he basically reveals that he knows what happened. And something else is revealed at the same time. Before this moment, we know that Jono has been having nightmares. He's seeing a silhouette of someone. He is haunted by something. We don't know why. We don't know who it is. But then in this moment, he kind of reveals it. Like, oh, we did something bad. And I kept your secret for you. And this is how you repay me?
Yep, which was the death of a kid.
Yeah, that they
knew.
That they called Loner.
Mm-hmm.
And Will is just like, Jono, we didn't kill him. And you're confused.
And they bring it up often because they would bring up that moment and then Will would always be like, yeah, but it was an accident, right? And he would wait for Jono to give him like a verbal yes.
I know it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is revealed at this moment that there's so much guilt inside of Jono, but he was going to leave Will there. But then the wedding planner comes in and is like, Aoife. Hey,
Will,
we need to cut the cake. Where are we?
I don't think it was the cake at this point, but I need to take pictures. Yeah. I don't know where you are.
Yeah, something.
So Aoife comes in and ruins the night for Jono. Because I think Jono was going to leave him here for a minute at least. But, yeah.
Yeah, but
so
he has motivation.
He is angry because, remember, his life, he's struggling.
And I think when the lights go out, he's right next to Will. Jono is.
Yeah, kind of. He's nearby.
Okay. Last person is the wedding planner.
Before we talk about the wedding planner, we should mention that the way that the story is structured is it goes back and forth. It goes back and forth between, what happened after the lights went out and what's happening before the lights went out. Yeah. So at this point in the story of present day, like wedding night after the lights go out, the boys, like the friends of Will who went to school with him, to college with him, they find a body
Yes.
And they find that it's Will. So we know that the victim is Will at this point in the story.
Yes.
And now they're finding all of these other things that are around, things that like the other guests had on them, like the crown that the bride wore. So they're trying to uncover like, oh my God, he's dead. Who could have done this? So at this point, we don't know who could have done it because everyone's pissed at Will.
Yes.
But now let's get into Aoife, which is the wedding planner. Go ahead.
So she is literally just a wedding planner. She's here making sure that this wedding goes right. And she does have a few interactions with Will. And they're always kind of weird because he's weird. So it's like him kind of flirting with her.
And she's just kind of like, okay.
But she actually is one of the most important characters because she has a little brother whose name is Darcy. And Darcy is the boy that Will killed.
Yeah, but she reveals it after the lights go out because she sees him and she's like, oh, do you want to help me with something? And Will's like, I really don't. I have to go fix things with my bride. I have to go fix things with Jono. I have to get him to shut up.
Yeah.
And he's just like, head is everywhere. But then that's when she starts telling him like, oh, you really think that I was a fan of you? No. I knew who you were because you went to school with my brother, Darcy. And Will's just like, Darcy's a girl's name.
Yeah.
He's so, oh my God.
I hate it.
The thing about Will is that he's so good at convincing people that they're wrong.
Yes.
He's so good at convincing someone like, no, that's not how it happened. But do you want to explain what happened that night?
Wasn't it?
With Darcy, which they called Loner, which is Aoife's little brother.
Wait, let me see if I remember it correctly. He had gone out with Will, right? He had gone out with Will and Jono, and was it swimming? Was that what they were doing?
No.
I don't remember.
So, if I'm remembering this correctly, Darcy did something that pissed Will off. It had to do with exam papers.
Yes.
Oh my God, you scared me.
I'm sorry. I just remembered. It was because of exam papers. Because Will had stolen the exam papers and Darcy told on him.
Yeah, and Will's dad was what, the principal?
Yeah. Headmaster, but whatever.
Who cares, honestly?
Disciplinary.
Give him his right title, okay? And so Will was pissed and he convinced Jono like, oh my God, let's play a prank on him.
Yes.
And so they busted into Darcy's dorm, and they grab him. And it was really sad because he struggled at first, but then his body just kind of went limp because he kind of just accepted it. Yeah. He accepted like, I'm not going to be able to win over these guys. And Darcy really looked up to Will, which was really sad because he like, Will was just this charismatic guy. And so what they do is they tie him up, or they tie him somewhere near the shore, the ocean shore. And so the tide was rising. And so where he was, the way that he was tied, like he was like on the ground, right? So he couldn't move, he couldn't get out. And Will was kind of like, let's just leave him here. Let's leave him here all night. And for some reason, John was like, okay, bro.
Yep. Because he doesn't know the consequence. And it sucks because the way that Aoife explains this is that she got this information of what happened that night from another boy who thought he was going to be next.
Yeah, it was Darcy's friend. And he knew what was happening, but he was too scared to react.
Yep.
And Aoife was kind of like, he feels guilty. I know that Jono feels guilty, but you don't feel guilty. And I know that you don't feel guilty because she heard them talking about it in the cave. Yes. Yep. And Will keeps denying that he had any fault in the situation. So unfortunately, Darcy drowned because the tide was rising.
Yep.
And he couldn't escape.
Mm-hmm. So when the lights go off and Aoife tells this whole thing, I don't really understand the sequence of it because he cuts the cake and then when the lights turn off,
he's in the bathroom cleaning himself off.
Okay.
And then he comes out.
So he comes back while the lights are off. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then she shows up and she's like, help me out. And then he's following her. And then she's holding a knife. She's holding the knife, the one that was used to cut the cake.
Okay. And does she kill him back there, or does she kill him in the room?
She kills him. No, they're walking somewhere, and then that's when they stop, and she tells him that she knows who he is. That's why she gave him that really good discount, because you know what, bitch, you're gonna pay for what you did to my brother. And she like stabs him straight in the heart.
Does he walk back?
No,
he doesn't.
No, he tries to convince her that she's wrong, that that's not how it actually happened.
Yeah.
But she's like, I know how it happened.
And just to end it, because it's her. It's her, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's the one who did it.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks because Jono has a moment where he sees it. Mm-hmm. He sees him walking, and he says, like, and the knife literally looked like it was a part of him.
Because it was in really deep.
Yeah. And he, like, the first thing he thought was like, oh my God, I love this guy.
That's
like,
my best friend.
That's my best friend. And his reaction was like, oh, I gotta get the knife out. Mm-hmm. So he pulls out the knife, but what everyone sees
is he stabbed him.
Yeah.
And he has had delusions because of the guilt. He sees Darcy, and even in this moment, he's not coherent at all. The guys are like, calm down, like, just calm down. And he's like, he can't even explain himself because of the situation. Yeah. So what is understood is that he's taken in handcuffed, right? Like, yes. He's gonna be charged for this crime that he didn't commit. And what else happens after this?
The only thing I remember is that we see it in Hannah's perspective too.
Oh yeah, because they're leaving the island, and she's just like, you know what? I would have done it too.
Don't blame him. I wish I could have done it, actually.
I wish that I was behind him, actually. Mm-hmm. Stabbing him in the back. And then then it goes to Olivia, and she's like sitting somewhere, and Jules sits next to her, and she like starts crying, but not because of her now dead husband, but just because she just feels bad. And then it even says like they are both there, and they have like a sister moment that they haven't had in a very long time. Because they're hugging. So cute. So cute. Jono arrested. And then living it up. Yeah. And that's pretty much all the characters. Yeah. That's pretty much the story. Mm-hmm. Is there any moment in the story that you want to talk about? No, but just shout out to Hannah, the best character in the entire story. I loved her. Yeah, and when it got to the end, I was like, damn, I don't want her to be the killer, but also I hope she does it, bitch. Who did you think was going to be the killer? I thought it was going to be Hannah. Like, near the end, I thought it was going to be Hannah. And then I didn't really understand, because remember, Hannah has that moment where they, like, hazed her. Well, it was Aoife, but they, like, hazed her by putting, like, a sea monster, a dead sea monster in her bed. Was it her that they did it to? Who did they do it to? They did it to Jules. Oh, never mind then. Never mind. I loved Hannah a lot. I thought she was a really good character, and she deserves the world, and she got the world. Thank you. No, she didn't. What is even happening at the end with her and Charlie? Nothing. They made no progress. Nothing, but my favorite thing now is that she knows that he's a cheater, and she can end this man. Man. Fuck him. He's the worst. That's really the only thing that stood out to me. I just also want to bring up that the relationship between Jules and Charlie was really weird, because I think they're both attracted to each other. Yeah. But the way that they phrase it is, oh, we would never work. We would never work. Because you're a loser. Yeah. Thank you. You suck too, and I love you, but it's hot in here. And then they make out. I know. Oh my gosh. I hated Charlie. He was the worst character. And Will existed. And Will was there. Yeah. God. Overall thoughts. Wait, first, did you have any dislikes? Yes. My biggest dislike, and I feel like this plays a lot with my rating of the book, I hated that the whole Aoife reveal happened so quick. Because after it was revealed, everything just all happened at once. And I was like, well, I just read a whole damn book for you to tell me in the last chapter? Because it didn't even feel like a slow progression. It just felt like, oh, by the way, here's this one thing we didn't mention. It's like, no, you should have
at least given me hints throughout the story, which I know they kind of did talk about Darcy, but like I had no idea that was going to be the connection. Did you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I hated that.
I thought that Jules was going to be the one that killed him. Because hello, she's the bride.
Yeah.
She had this pent up rage. I thought it was going to be her.
Well, is there any dislikes?
Yes. My dislike, it might be stupid. I don't know. I didn't really love that somehow Will had a connection with everyone. Here's the thing. Yeah, he's a bad guy, but what are the odds that he ruined Alice's life the same way that he ruined Olivia's life? Like, I don't like that he had a connection with 5 characters.
Well, he's just a consistent man.
Ruining lives.
He's gotta do something. Yeah, I get it. I also didn't really care for that. Mm-hmm. Overall thoughts?
My overall thoughts, I really liked the concept of this book. Murder at a Wedding, that's fun. I did like the execution of it. I liked that we didn't know who the victim was until near the end. I thought that was fun too, because I was like, who's gonna die? For a while, I thought maybe it was gonna be Olivia because she was so unstable and so sad.
Yeah.
That I thought, oh, maybe Olivia's gonna do something and everyone's gonna blame Will because he just, I don't know. And I don't know. I thought the story was overall a fun read for me. Still really don't like that Will had a connection with everyone. It just feels too like much of a coincidence. I think I would give this story a 4.3.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. I kind of had it because at the beginning I said 3.5 or 4.5.
No.
I had it. I picked 3.563, I think. But
I don't remember.
I was close. Okay?
I really like the story overall, and I really like the style of writing of the different types of characters.
Okay. I don't agree. I don't think, because the thing is, I appreciate this book for what it is. I thought having the multiple perspectives was cool, and I thought it was cool that it was like by labels.
Yeah, I love that. Mm-hmm.
Because like honestly that helped a lot because I was not remembering the names the first time I read it. So I was like, oh, the bridesmaid, the plus one, this, and it helped me organize my thoughts.
And I also love when Will's perspective, because Will didn't have a perspective until near the end where he died. And I like that he became the victim.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I love that.
When that happened, I was like, whoa.
I love it so much. It sucks because like I really did want to like this book, and I told you were there when I listened to the ending, and when I listened to it I didn't really think much of it, but then when I was laying down at night I was like, oh my god, that bitch died. Oh my god.
I didn't even warn him.
I know. So the thing is, I don't think this is my type of book. Like I wouldn't go out there and be like, ooh, murder mystery, and grab this. I didn't enjoy that the ending was just so like
rushed.
Not rushed, but that's the only part that connected to anything else, and it felt like I didn't need to read anything else because I had so much like, oh, it could be any character, and I hated that it was the person you least suspected, but not because you least suspect them. It's because they literally had nothing to do with what was going on until that was mentioned. I just wish that it was executed in a way where like, she would walk around and be like, oh, well, my brother used to be super into this. My brother also did sports. Oh, my brother also did that. Oh, you would get along with, I wish.
But then that's too sus.
I know, but she's supposed to be sus.
She's not supposed to have any connection to this.
I hate it. I hate it. I did like some points of the story. Anything that had to do with Hannah, loved it. Anything that had to do with the Will Hate Club, loved it. I'm all for that. But I don't think this is a book for me. I don't regret reading it, though. I thought it was really fun to read. I would give this book like a 2 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. I respect it. All right, so we've reached the end.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. For anyone listening to us on audio form, whether that be Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcasts on, thank you so much. If you can leave a rating of 5 stars, that would be amazing because those always help. And also, if you can tell your friends, loved ones, hated ones, maybe the victims. Oh, actually, don't kill anyone. But
Happy spooky season, everyone.
Happy spooky season. If you can tell anyone and everyone about our podcast, that would help because the best way to get exposure is through word of mouth. Mm-hmm. Thank you for everyone who is watching us on YouTube. If you can like, comment, and subscribe and click that notification bell because it does help with you figuring out when we post, which is usually Tuesdays. Mm-hmm. I would also like to shout out our social media. We are trying to be more active on Instagram, TikTok, and we also have a Goodreads. If you want to follow us on any of those, our @ is @StoryandThings, StoryandThings. Thank you. Usually we end these episodes with a dice roll. We lost the dice, so we do have an app. But the way that
virtual dice.
Yes. The way that this works is if it lands on an odd number, we have to read a negative review off of Goodreads. If it lands on an even number, we have to read a positive review off of Goodreads. And it is a review that we will read and we will leave it in the air.
Yeah. We're not agreeing or disagreeing. Yeah. And we're not making any faces.
No, not at all. So why don't you go ahead and roll the dice and tell me what we get.
Okay. So showing it on the screen. Tapping it. 3.
A 3. Okay. Negative review. Do you want to look for it?
Yeah. This comes from Laura on Goodreads. They rated it a 1 out of 5, and they wrote, "Not a single likable character to be found in this."
Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Oh my gosh.
What are we going to do after this?
I don't know. You know what? This kind of makes me want to read, and then there were none. Because I've never been interested in reading it, but now I kind of am.
Have you ever read it?
No, I haven't. And you know, want to know something funny? I checked it out of the library, and I had it for a really long time when I was younger. Mm-hmm. For a really long time, and then I just reached a point where I was like, I'm not going to read it. What am I? It's too big and my brain's too small. So I just never read it.
What?
Yeah.
I love that book.
I think I would have rather probably read that.
Than this?
Yeah, if I wanted like an intro.
Yeah, but that's not fair because you already know how I feel about it.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be for the podcast. It would be for me.
Oh, like a personal read.
Yeah, PR, a personal read.
Then are you going to read it?
Maybe.
I doubt it. Your TBR is very big.
Yours is too.
Yeah, but you don't have time.
I don't have time, but I make time.
For me.
Thank you. Hello? I'm hungry.
Okay.
Let's go.